awareness, because most of the people are not aware of this condition. There is a lot of stigma and labeling that is going around with autism, and more so mashinani in the village. People in town are now getting up and fighting for the rights of the children and persons with disability, but back in the village we are still having a challenge. That is why I took the initiative to spread the word of autism awareness to many people who are not aware of the message that autism is. Autism is a neurological condition. Autistic Pride Day was first celebrated in the year 2005, and that is when they wanted to stamp out the stigma to raise awareness. So in the spirit of raising awareness and stopping stigma, we decided to do a way of spreading awareness by voting, doing the pageant way. We voted for Little Miss and Mr. Autism online. Through the parents, they gave the inspirational stories. Those who fall with the stories and admired their stories voted for the kids, and we got the winner. And this is the first autism awareness of pageant crowning in the village. And we did it to raise awareness on this special day so that the parents cannot keep the children in the homes. They can take the children out to get intervention so that they stop this issue of many myths and misconceptions that are going around about children with autism, so that they can accept the condition and know that autism has got no cure. Autism is a condition, is a lifelong condition. There is no medical test for autism that will reveal that a child has got autism. So it is not a disease, it is a condition that can be managed through therapy, through support of occupational therapists, and it is a multidisciplinary approach that is taken through to help a child with autism. We will need a neurologist, we will need the nurses, we will need the occupational therapist, we will need the teachers, we will need the parents, so that we can know how to support the child, because the professionals will give the support, but the parent will have to continue with the support at home. And it is the duty of the parents to continue with the support, because they meet the professionals once in a while for those who can afford, and the challenge is also paying for the services of the professionals who are offering support for children with autism. It is a great challenge that most of the parents may not afford. Today, as Migori County, we have crowned Little Miss Autism and Little Mr. Autism, of which the parents will be continuing with creating awareness. Now that their children are on the limelight in Migori County, we hope that many more parents will come out and talk about the condition of their children. Many more parents will also be able to know that if I see this characteristic exhibited in my child, then it could be autism. I should seek a professional service. So we are happy today that the parents turned out in large numbers. The parents supported the children by mobilizing the voters who voted for the children who were crowned today. And that is a way of creating awareness, because before somebody votes, they will ask that, why are we voting? Then you will explain, like, we are trying to raise awareness. My son is having autism, my daughter is having autism. So it is a way of spreading awareness and letting other people also to know about this condition, so that those who are in denial, those who are keeping the children at home, they can also open up and see that they are not the only ones in this field. So that is the reason why we marked the day today, and we are happy that we are now going to continue spreading awareness. We are opening our territories, and the parents have supported the whole idea. They are out and they have promised to go and spread the word to those who are still denying and keeping the children in the house. The challenge that the parents are facing is a better school for the children with autism. They receive a lot of denial when they go to school. The owners of the school will admit the child because maybe they do not understand. 3 days, 4 weeks, 1 week later, they are told, like, no, come and pick your child, because we cannot manage the hyperactivity, we cannot manage the out-of-seat behavior, your child is biting other children. So this is one challenge that is affecting our children, and that is why we are requesting the government to support us in building a school for the children with autism. It can be a pilot school that can be built so that we accommodate our children also in school. The parents, you find children who are 7 years old, 8 years old, they've never stepped into school because there is no school that can accommodate them and take them the way they are. They meet stigma, they meet rejection when they go to the school. The teachers label them because they do not understand So the parents are frustrated. They are a frustrated lot. When you see other people's children going to school and your child is their age mate and you have your child at home, it is a big frustration. So we are grateful for the government for the support they have offered so far, but we are still pleading that they may extend the support further by supporting the parents by stakeholders assisting in building more schools to accommodate children with autism, pilot schools in the county, so that the problem can be solved once and for all. So that when we get from here to 10 years, we will be able to talk about having several schools within the county that has shaved the problem of education within the county. We are requesting that if there is any support that the parents can be offered about the therapy, because the children's life rotates through the therapist. If they can offer as a support for the children with autism and these other conditions to be given free therapy in the hospitals when they visit, and then they can also post more occupational therapists to help in supporting these children in the government hospitals, because government hospitals, they are cheap, the services are cheap, but the personnel are few. They are overwhelmed. The personnel that we have are overwhelmed. So once the government assists us in posting several occupational therapists and professionals who can help with children with autism, it will help the parents save on the financial implication that is involved in raising a child with autism. So we are requesting for more support on the professional side by the government posting the professionals, and again teachers, we are requesting that maybe in consideration they can do like posting teachers who have been trained in autism in schools that are offering autism, so that they can support the children there, because the few teachers who are there in the few schools, the few government schools that are offering services for education for children with autism, they are overwhelmed. The learners are so many. So it needs special training for a teacher to understand what autism is. So we are requesting that the teachers who are trained may be posted so that they curb the manners of the teacher ratio, learner ratio, because we find that the teacher-learner ratio of children with autism should be 2 to 1. For 2 to 1, you find that teachers handle 30 children in the class. They may not be effective. By handling 30 learners in the class, they may not be effective. So we are asking for more teachers to be posted, more schools to be built, so that the children can enjoy the right to education like any other Kenyan child, without being limited that there is no school, there is no teacher, and the rest of the things. So as we are coming out today, we are happy that we are spreading awareness mashinani in the village. Ours is awareness mashinani in the village. We are reaching the far end, those who do not have WhatsApp, those who are not on social media, those who do not even, some of them don't even have radios and TVs. So we are reaching them out one by one through this, and we are asking for support of our people who have been supporting us. As we continue spreading awareness, we know that March is still going on, and we will still honor more days to come to raise awareness from the village, so that our people in the village can know that there is no cure for autism. There is no medical test for autism. Autism is a lifelong neurological condition that the child will only outgrow and live within after all his life. So we appreciate and we want the people to be friendly. When you see a child behaving in a different way, please be friendly and get to know. Do not judge them. Don't be judgmental to our children, because we may not know what they are going through. So we are asking the public to accommodate them so that we embrace them, their diversity. They are just differently talented. They don't have anything unique.
Let's embrace this, because in the village, so many people are hiding their kids with autism. So if you know anybody who is there at home with a kid inside the house, kindly help them to know about this. Thank you. Today is to let everyone to know about this and to embrace it, and to know that they are not left outside.
As we celebrate the Autism Pride Day,
autism and epilepsy are connected because both of them are neurodiversity conditions, and we find that people with epilepsy, 30% of people with epilepsy are autistic, and vice versa. So they are connected in one way or another. That's why you find that children or people with autism are convulsed at one time, and when they convulse, the medication that we use for convulsions as people with epilepsy is the same drugs that they use also. So epilepsy and autism are related, and that is why we are here today to celebrate together with our partners, Jonathan Rays of Hope. We do this to these children with autism. It encourages them that they also count in the community. It encourages the parents and caregivers, so that, because in most cases we find that the parents and caregivers do not accept this condition, so they hide their children in most cases. But what our partners have done today is quite encouraging to them. It encourages them to come out and get even the help that is available for them. Yeah.
As an occupational therapist, we are able to train these children on concentration. We're able to train them in attention, and also we train them in ADL, activity of daily living. Yeah. In Migori, we have few autism children because some of the parents, they ignore. In Migori, we have very few children with autism because of lack of awareness. And number two, lack of referral, because most of medics, they don't know where to refer. Number three, they have any lack of finance, because to do therapy for a child with autism is very expensive, and it needs consistency, because every week it needs 2 sessions per week if it is few. Yeah. In a week I can train almost 8 children in autism. Yeah. In a month. As an occupational therapist, we face a lot of challenge. Number one, lack of equipment, because the government institution, they don't buy any equipment. At the times you provide, you use yourself as an equipment so that you can give the best that you can. Number two, we are very few, because we are very few. Almost within a county, we are only 4 occupational therapists, the whole of Migori County. There's need for more employment. Number 4, lack of funds and support and awareness, because few people knows about autism, because the lack of education. They have not been educated about what is autism. Yeah.
Autism is a condition. My son was diagnosed when he was 3 years old. The journey has been long, but we've been moving on. There are so many challenges associated with autism. We have right from food. There are some meals that they cannot take, some fruits they cannot take, socialization, and also interaction, communication. All these goes with autism. The biggest challenge that I'm facing right now is school education. There are very few schools available for these kids to attend, and if they are there, then they are quite expensive. That these common wananchis we can't afford, so we really find it difficult for our kids to attend good schools. We integrate them in normal schools, but the help that they really need, the support they need, the teachers, those teachers who are specialized to handle them, they really don't interact with them because they are available but at a higher price. Another challenge we are getting is the availability of the therapists, the occupational therapist, the speech therapist. Like where I come from in Migori County, there are very few therapists. These few ones cannot cater for all these needy kids that are around. And then another thing is the costs. How I wish the government could at least deploy more therapists and offer subsidies so that we can manage to take our kids on these therapy sessions. If the government can maybe work with other stakeholders so that they can at least create awareness, there's much needed awareness on the ground. So many people are not aware of this condition. And so a lot is happening at Mashinani. The discrimination is too high. Going to churches, they don't get it. The villagers themselves, they don't really get this. if the government can send more people to create awareness on this condition, we'll be so happy. My son, I'm so happy my son has been awarded as Master Autism Migori Mashinani County. Master. Little Master Autism Migori County. And as a parent, I'm so happy about this. At least with this, I've realized that my son has created an impact in that he has managed to create awareness to many people who did not know about the autism. You see, we involved him in voting. The voters were aware that he's autistic. Some who are not aware that he has autism. And I know many parents will now be willing, at least they got somebody that they can show interest in. You see, back in the community, there are some parents who maybe are hiding their kids. They cannot show their kids. But at least they're able to see my son. They're able to see how far we've gone. The awareness that we've created, I know some parents will come out. I know that these kids can really get help. So I'm really happy. The other side, I'm happy that my son is being recognized. At least this condition is becoming common and popular. People are becoming aware of his underlying conditions. So I know that I'll have easy time when it comes to people getting to know what is really happening to him. There have been a lot of questions about how he behaves, how he handles himself, but with the awareness that has been created with today's event and him being crowned, and I'll get some easier time, better than before, when handling him.
I majored into that after having this child, because in my thinking I thought he would one day be able to speak. He would not be able to speak. So I thought, having known sign language and to communicate with people who are deaf and dumb, I thought I would help my son. But I later realized, because it is hard to know that somebody has autism until you get awareness. It has been really challenging. Working with this boy has not been very easy. But I want to thank God for the awareness creation, which is even going on now. It is helpful even to other people, because before I knew what autism is, I thought my child was maybe ruined by people, from the way I was told. One day a lady told me that this problem of this son, I picked it somewhere. So she wanted also to divert it through using a hen, which I don't think would have worked. But after knowing about autism, I'm able now to see my son growing. Even if he's growing late, he's growing. He has walked at 18. He was on the wheelchair for 17 years. I know other things are coming, because he's now even aware. I can take just a small kiboko and cane him and shout, "Keep quiet, don't make noise," and he will obey. Although initially I thought he was deaf. He's not deaf. But because of this condition of autism and having gotten the awareness, I am seeing him growing. To tell the parents of children with the same condition not to keep them at home. If they come together like we are here today, and the awareness they get here, I want to encourage them to spread it. Even me, I lived in this county for many years. So many people knew this was my home county. Now when I go back there, I'm just going to spread this message. And I really wish to have an occasion like this to invite many other people to come and to know. Because in my language they call it juogi. It is not juogi. It is this condition, the neurodiverse condition for these children. So I want to also encourage other people to remove that word juogi from their children and understand and see the way they are behaving from the things we have learned even here. If they know that, then we can work with them and they can become somebody in future.